We are Lee and Vince Moore, and we came to Republic Grand Ranch from North Texas, and we've been here about 5 months.
Our careers gave us an opportunity to make 12 different corporate relocations. And during that time, we were in 12 different homes, most of them new homes, new construction, but never a custom home. So our journey was kind of lengthy, and we knew at some point we were going to wind up in a custom home. And you can imagine, after being in 12 different homes, that we had a very extensive and exhaustive list as to what we really wanted in our dream home. And we knew that we had to have a good expert to help us bring that all together. And that's how our journey kind of started, but really
About the last 3 years, we kind of got busy with finding a place that would provide what we wanted in a quiet setting, trees, and we found Texas Grand Ranch first, and that actually led us to a land salesman who said it had a new development coming up in Willis, and you might like to look at that. And we studied both of them over the next few months and better part of a year, and picked Republic Grand Ranch for our place. We've been in for 5 months now.
right at it, 5 months. We didn't know what we didn't know. There was some anxiety, the unknown of what we were getting into. I mentioned earlier we had not done a custom home, but we knew this. We knew that we had to find a trusted advisor to guide us through those unknowns. That person needed to be expert in what they did. We needed to trust them as a partner. It needed to be genuine. It needed to be real, transparency, and to share our vision, because we were going to trust that builder to kind of bring it all together for us. Well, the win we got into Republic Grand Ranch is based on her wisdom and intuition. She was smart enough to know, by looking at the community and doing her homework, that Republic Grand Ranch would provide us a home.
Yeah, we felt that it gave us everything we needed to feel comfortable with our living experience, and we also realized that although we wanted the space and the uniqueness of living in a forest, we also wanted amenities and emergency services available too.
We were looking for that trusted advisor and someone with expertise. But truly, I think that would just be considered the price of entry. We did our due diligence. We had a pretty clear way that we needed to vet our builders. And it came down to really 4 things, key things. We call them our 4 Ps. And it had to be, the builder had to have the right people. They had to have the right product, a fantastic process, and very clear and transparent pricing. Royal Texan had all of that and more.
Yeah. For me, it was a lot of integrity based too. I wanted to know that we were making the right decision. They had a track record, they had a history, and once we sat with them, there really wasn't a comparison. It was pretty evident for me. Our first meeting with the owner, Mark, was really good, and it was eye-opening for us. We went in an anxious state, and we left very comfortable with what we had decided. And he said one sentence that made a difference to me, and we were all said and done, and we had a floor plan, and we had a conversation about the cost and everything, and he said, "If you don't have my word, you have nothing." And that's a true statement from him.
Even today. Sounds a little corny, but truthfully, it was a life's moment. For people in our position, you've worked hard, you have that feeling of pride, accomplishment, and achievement. You're at a point in your life where you're getting ready to make a major investment. And let's face it, your dream home is truly a life moment. And Royal Texan was part of that. They helped bring that to life for us, and still are. I know this may be a little bit long, but I want to share a couple of key moments that I thought were very important. They were early on in the process. But one, we had gone in to visit with Mark and the sales rep at the very first meeting, and we had a big piece of paper with our custom home plan written on it. We showed it to Mark, and he very professionally and politely went through it and critiqued it, and he told us all the things that were great about it. He told us, I can build that exact home for you, can-do attitude. But at the same time, he gave us other options and pointed out things in the plan that we didn't think of. He said, have you thought about this? This may take away from your livable space. He flipped that piece of paper over, and by hand, he sketched out a house, a home, that turned out to be almost our exact home. And eerily, he gave us directional pricing at that same time that was almost our end project cost. And that won us over. It was amazing. The second thing is, that was a key moment. I think Mark and his team realized that we were anxious. We had that fear of the unknown, and I think they could tell that my DNA, I was a little bit of a control freak. In their process, they gave us tools. In fact, I remember one very clearly. It was a budgeting tool that helped us through the land preparation cost, the vertical structure of the home, remember that, and then finally all the options that were available to us. And that helped us feel like we were in control, and that was a memorable moment. And one other final moment that really mattered, for those of you who are looking at a big, beautiful home and all the electrical that's going to go in the house, I was anxious about knowing what's the electrical going to look like and be required, because it's quite expensive. And Mark gave us a directional view as to what we may expect to see, what's included in a home like ours, and it really took the edge off. There are some great moments, many of them, but those are just a few.
It's kind of interesting when you sit down and you meet a company and you meet a team and you start meeting people. Am I going to remember these names, as we go through this process? But you go through every department and you meet everyone and go through the process that they have in place very strategically. And they're friends almost immediately because it's an enjoyable process. You finish the build and they're more like family. We have loved everyone that we've worked with, and we're glad to have them in our group.
The answer is truly a compliment for Royal Texan and Mark. We should have known from day one that we could have relaxed and trusted the experts to guide us through the process, and because that's exactly what they did for the entire time. And the reason that is a compliment, because there has no been looking back over our shoulders. There's been no buyer's remorse, and there's been no Monday morning quarterback. We've been very happy with the decisions that were made, and moving forward, we see nothing but, a great experience.
We definitely realized the enjoyment of our home from day one. I mean, it probably goes back to when we first saw our framing going together and we could feel it as a home. But we've had our family, our kids, our grandson, friends, and we've already made a lot of really great memories. Far exceeds everything. I just couldn't say enough that they continue to be on our side and support us, and it was just a really good experience.
There's a lot that we could add. This video is not going to give us a chance to talk about all the great things that Royal Texan has provided for our experience, but I will tell you this. Take time to get to know the people on the team at Royal Texan. Mm-hmm. They're great. They'll make you feel comfortable. They'll help you in the process. My wife said something early on, and I think it's important to mention. If you start to build with someone and the process seems very difficult and very hard,
it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. And that's a time when you should know that you need to back away and look at another choice. But over and above the great people at Royal Texan, Mark has a very comprehensive plan and a very transparent plan. It's amazing the things that this builder thinks of, that they include, that they take care of for you. It's the small things, the detailed things that really make things easy for you.
That we didn't even know about at the time. That was just handled for us.
Yeah, things that would create out-of-pocket cash, heartburn, headache, stress. I'll just give you a few things. Applications, permits, running the water tap from the house or getting the first initial water tap. We've been in contact with a lot of homeowners who built with other builders, and they've all had some pain points and some pinch points in that experience. We can honestly say that Mark's team has made so many of those things easy for us and transparent to where we've never had to look back, and we're blessed because of it.
We truly enjoy our home. It's beautiful, and I hope more people get a chance to experience it too.
Yeah, you definitely need to consider Royal Texan and personally speak with Mark Garrity before making your final decision.